Peace, peace, peace. This is Moses with Urban Equity Consulting Group. Just thought I should take a few minutes. Sitting at the office, just finished a couple of small projects. One thing that I try to tend to do when working on proposal development or small projects is go ahead and schedule them to be sent out the very next morning. So I'm not sending a bunch of emails in the morning. Finished a couple proposals. And as I was developing the proposals, I was thinking about some of the previous conversations that we've internally had with our team and things that we want to share and post for the community at large. So a lot of people are interested in starting a consulting business, and some people, when I tell them that I'm a consultant, they like, "What do you do? Like, what do consultants actually do?" And it's a misnomer to people. Like people don't often know what a consultant actually does. So just to kind of talk about a brief description of what a consultant does. So, a consultant pretty much operates in the capacity of a person or a group or an entity who is giving counsel, direction, advice, subject matter expertise to another, right? So, if you think about a coach, for example, like a basketball coach, technically could be considered a consultant, or he could also be considered a coach. Sometimes the terms can be used interchangeably. Then to add on to another type of, I don't know why this door is squeaking, to add on to like another type of terminology in terms of coaching. Let's say you have a gentleman like a basketball player, LeBron James, kind of using that continued analogy, or Dwight Howard, whatever the basketball player would be. They would use a former NBA player like Hakeem Olajuwon as a consultant to teach the moves that he does when he plays basketball, right? Like if you want to practice your spin move, they wouldn't generally work directly for the NBA team. They would be hired as a consultant to walk them through the process, the steps, etc. So consultants generally operate outside of a company. They're generally speaking independent. They generally give advice. Good clients take the advice. I've had clients who listened to nothing that I said. They paid me, but they listened to nothing that I advised, and then found themselves in like very compromising situations. And then I was like, I told you so, right? Like you should like listen to some of the advice that I said. And this is, pretty much why you would hire me. So consultants do different things. In terms of like how to establish how to establish a consultancy, I would often say the thing that you're often looking for is a problem. What problem are you trying to solve? There's a problem, right? And the bike boys are out in DC, I see. Um, they tend to ride with their vehicles down 8th Street. Uh, so, what problem are you trying to solve? So, when you think about a problem that a client has, a client or a new startup company has a budget, but they don't have a website. Well, do you know how to do websites? They need video direction or creative direction or flyer development or logo development, and you either do it or you can consult on it because you know someone who does it and does it pretty well, and you can kind of serve as an intermediary because maybe you don't want to really introduce the person who actually does it. Maybe it's your kind of grungy cousin who lives in the basement, but he does amazing graphic design, and you can appear very professional and you're well spoken. But if you introduce that person, he's not the person that you'd like to introduce to the public. So you would serve as a consultant for that. And then you have like major consultants who work on all types of like political campaigns. You have consultants that are all over the place. So in terms of like being a consultant, I think the first thing that most people should do is find a problem. And then when you talk to people as a consultant, if you're looking for a consultant or consultancy jobs, etc., you have to specialize in something. You have to be able to do something that your client can't do. Another key hint is how well do you listen? So one of the ways that I became a consultant is because I was really good at certain domains and I was listening to people's problems, and other people that I know were listening to people's problems and people told other people that I could solve their problems, and they attached it to a budget. And this is how I became a consultant. So if I think about how long I've been a consultant, I've been doing consulting work probably for the better half of, I mean, I probably started when I was 20. So you're talking, over 2 decades at this point. And it's been all types of things that I've consulted on, and really just because I worked in a certain domain. Another major area of consultancy for me is that I network with people. Like, so I know a lot of people in a lot of domains, a lot of backgrounds, a lot of fields, and people need to know people, or people want to get connected to people. Oh, I can call such and such for you, or I'll make this phone call. I need business insurance, or I need a carpenter. And I kind of serve as a person who can kind of move people in different directions, and I call it a social architect. And that opens up doors for me as a social architect who can connect people to people who need people or services or relationships, right? So that is another way. In terms of offering consultancy services, one of the best things that I would advise is, again, find a problem, right, that a potential client has, meet people, networking, and then listen to people. If you listen, you spend time with people, and I'm not saying be disingenuous, right? So a lot of my clientele was established out of genuine relationships and genuine interest in solving people's problems, and it became what it was, like a consultancy. So you have to listen to people as you talk. You kind of field ideas, you kind of hear their problem, and if you're really listening keenly, they'll tell you, and if you listen to enough people, they'll tell you what your consultancy should be based off. So again, Chairman Moses, Urban Equity Consulting Group, thank you for listening. Another short video. Peace.